Bagsak presyo ka na pero hindi ka pa rin nakakabenta? In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the dark psychology behind how to sell anything to anyone na imposibleng tanggihan ng mga customers mo. I'm Fibo Lim and I run a marketing firm that has generated 13 billion in client sales over the last decade. And after years of selling, I discovered that there are 5 things na kailangan para mahirapan ang client mo tumanggi sa binibenta mo. I call this the offer star. Number 1, alam mo ba mas madaling magbenta kung ang presyo mo ay mahal kesa mura? Let me give you an analogy. Merong dalawang gym coach. Coach A, sabi niya, I will train you 3 times a week for 90 days. And the rate is 30,000. Okay? Coach B naman, sabi niya, I will help you lose 20 pounds in 90 days or your money back. The rate is 60,000. So anong pipiliin mo? Si Coach A trains you for 3 times a week, 30,000? Or si Coach B, lose 20 pounds in 90 days or your money back, 60,000? Malamang pipiliin mo si Coach B. Kahit doble ang presyo? Okay, sa tingin mo bakit? Kasi si Coach A, nagbibenta ng sessions, no? 3 times a week tayo mag-workout. Okay, tapos, walang guarantee anong maging outcome nun. Kumbaga, yung binibenta niya is yung process. Pero si Coach B, yung binibenta niya is yung outcome, which is, we're gonna lose 20 pounds in 90 days. So, the first criteria of creating an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no is promise. Now, what does this mean? I want you to understand that the market doesn't pay for your time or effort. The market pays for the outcome or the result. Meaning, ano ang exact na resulta makukuha nila for buying your thing. Kumbaga, people are not buying when you say, I will manage your ads. No? Kundi, they're buying the result, which is, I will get you 50 leads in 30 days. Does it make sense? So, kumbaga, it's more powerful if you sell the outcome or the result rather than the thing or your effort or your time. People are not buying when you say na, okay, I will train you 3 times a week sa gym. People are buying when you say, I will help you lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks. Right? People are not buying when you say, I will build a website for you. Okay? So what? What people are buying is when you say, okay, I will build a website for you and I will guarantee that you'll make 1 million in sales in 30 days. Now, I want you to understand na yes, if you are in this situation, if you are the seller, masasabi mo na,
Ay, hirap pala kasi hindi ko naman mag-guarantee yung result.
now, that's what makes us different, no? And that's why we can charge twice, thrice, 10 times more. It's because we are offering something that the market is not willing to offer. Ngayon, when it comes naman to putting some sort of an outcome, you wanna put an outcome na within your control. So, for example, if you're running ads for a business, hindi mo makokontrol kung makakabenta ba yung negosyo na yun, pero makokontrol mo how many leads or messages yung pwede mong mabigay sa business na yun. Does that make sense? So, you want to have a result or outcome based sa kontrolado mo lang para you can give some sort of a guarantee or outcome to that business. Okay? Now, an example of a famous company that did this was Domino's. You might hear or you might have heard sa campaign nila na 30 minutes or it's free. To give you context, Domino's Pizza, according sa mga case studies and testimonials ng mga tao, no? Or mga reviews ng mga tao, their pizza tastes like cardboard. Okay? Kumbaga, it doesn't taste good. Okay? Pero I want you to understand that at that time, during the 1990s, no, the problem that they were solving was not good food. The problem they were solving was people were hungry and they need food fast. In short, they were solving for speed. At that time kasi wala pang Grab or Uber. Okay? So, kumbaga, the fact lang na mag-order ako, darating siya in 30 minutes, that is such a powerful, unique selling proposition. So, what happened was, Domino's, even if their pizza doesn't taste good, they became, today, the world's largest pizza chain. And they were valued at $12 billion. Just imagine that, no? For a pizza chain na hindi masarap, it's because how they won was speed. And in this case, they created a campaign, 30 minutes or it's free. So in short, they were solving a problem ng market. So how could you create an outcome ba? Okay, so the first thing is you want to identify what is yung mga frustrations, problems ng clients mo, and then you create an outcome for that. In this case, probably at that time, is mabagal talaga yung deliveries. That's why when they launched this, it was such an irresistible offer. Pag gutom ka, you just order Domino's and boom, in 30 minutes, a pizza gets delivered. Ngayon, how do you apply this to your business? So I will give examples for products and I will also give examples for services. Because at the end of the day, business, you either sell a product, may it be physical or digital, or you may be selling a service, may it be physical or digital. That is basically it, okay? Now, for products, let's assume you have a whitening supplement, okay? You're not gonna say na,
Oh, etong product na to has glutathione.
now, glutathione is a feature. It's not the outcome. And that's the mistake of people because, again, clients aren't buying the feature, they're buying the result. Okay? So instead of saying, oh, this product, this whitening supplement has glutathione in it, okay, which doesn't deliver a result, you say, based on client testimonials, nakakaputi ito in just 14 days. Are you seeing the difference? Now, for example naman, for services, let's say you're selling social media marketing services. You don't want to say na, I will do your social media for you. Okay, you're selling time and effort. Again, people are not buying time and effort. They're buying the result or the outcome. So you want to say, I will generate 1 million views every month or you don't pay. Isn't that crazy? Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand there is some challenge to do this. When you start implementing this and guaranteeing the outcome, hindi yung process, it's very, very easy to close. Now, no, yung next challenge mo dito, syempre, is how do you create so that you can generate the outcome? Kasi ganito, you're selling now the outcome, so people are expecting the outcome, which adds pressure to you, which means you are kind of like forced to produce them the outcome when in the first place, yun naman talaga yung binayad nila. But if you help them generate that outcome, you will have more word of mouth, more referrals. People will like you more because in your marketplace, you're the only person guaranteeing an outcome while your competitors are selling their time and effort. Does that make sense? Which brings us to number 2. Alam mo ba na mas marami ang bibili pag doble ang presyo mo? Okay, may analogy ako dito. Let's say meron dalawang bahay. Same neighborhood, same size, same features. Pero house A, 10 years na walang nakatira, walang maintenance. Yung presyo, 5 million on the market. Yung house B is newly renovated, pero the price is 10 million, doble. Sa tingin mo, ano yung mas madaling mabenta? Yung house A, 5 million na pangit tingnan, walang nakatira, walang maintenance, or house B, bagong pintura, newly renovated, pero doble yung presyo. Sa tingin mo, ano yung mas madaling ibenta? Now, if you're a real estate agent or you have some experience in having properties, you know na mas madaling ibenta yung house B. Okay? Kahit mas mahal. Do you know why? Because people look at what they're getting first before the price. Ibig sabihin, in social media, titingnan muna nila nung maganda ba yung bahay na to, attractive ba to, and then nauuna kasi yung emotion. So kahit magkano pa yan, bibilhin nila yan. Does that make sense? So, the second criteria of creating an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no is value. But in this case, it's perceived value. What does perceived value mean? Perception. Kumbaga, yung pananaw mo sa isang bagay. And maganda kasi to because when you say na perceived value or pananaw ng halaga, magkaiba kasi yung pananaw ng halaga bawat tao. And it's an advantage, it is because you can influence somebody para tumaas yung pananaw niya sa isang bagay. Okay? Now, I'm gonna give you an analogy for this, or I'm gonna give you a real example for this. For example, Angel's Burger. So, ang nangyari kasi, years ago, no, Angel's Burger was a normal burger chain na struggling. And yung hindi mo kasi alam dito is that pinilit ka ni Angel's Burger na bumili ng dalawa kahit isa lang gusto mo. Ano yung mas irresistible? Ano yung mas magandang offer? Option 1, bibili ka ng 1 burger for 20 pesos. Option 2, buy one, take one, 39 pesos. Sa tingin mo, saan yung mas mumukhang good deal? 1 burger for 20 pesos, buy one, take one for 39. Malamang yung buy one, take one for 39. Pero kung i-compute mo yan by math, technically, para ka nang bumili ng dalawang burger sa buy one, take one, 39 pesos. Yung nangyayari lang is, ni-reframe lang siya. No? Buy one, take one, tapos 39 pa. Technically, piso na lang yung kulang pa para maging 40. And now, it looks cheaper. Even though it's the same thing. Yun yung sinasabi ko, perceived value. Okay, so ngayon, how can you apply this to your business? Let's start muna with products, okay? Now, I have a supplement company called Resell, and this is how I scaled it from 0 to 100+ million in a year. So, some people just sell the supplement itself. This is just a 30 capsules na supplement for 2,000 pesos. Now, to give you an idea, when you sell this in Shopee Lazada, walang bibili dyan ng 2,000. Kumbaga, yung ganitong supplement sa Shopee Lazada, mga nasa 200, 300 pesos lang ito. Okay? So, I cannot sell this as a supplement alone. I have to increase its perceived value, and how I did it was create some sort of a package. Pero, my goal is, how can I create a package without me spending more? Kasi some people will say, okay, 3 bottles for 2,000. Kaya lang tumataas na yung cost of goods mo dun eh. Tumataas yung cost mo eh. So yung goal dito is how can you increase the perceived value na kahit mukhang mura siya, is mataas pa rin yung kita mo. How much does it cost for me to deliver an ebook? 0. It's just a digital link, right? Now, of course, at that time, I had to license and buy an ebook and rename it for me. Pero right now, with ChatGPT, whatever, you can now create your own ebook. Kumbaga, these are things that has value na pwede mo i-include as part of your offer to increase the perceived value. So you're gonna see dito na if they buy the supplement, okay, they get the door-to-door delivery, okay, they get this reverse aging ebook, good night's sleep ebook, and how to avoid stress ebook. By the way, I didn't just put any random ebooks there. No? What I did here is, nag-survey kasi ako what's the top 3 reasons bakit sila bumili sa supplement namin. And yung lumabas na result is this. They want to reverse aging, they want to have a good night's sleep, and they want to avoid stress. Sounds familiar? Yes. That's why I created an ebook about anti-aging, I created an ebook about sleep, and I created an ebook about stress. Because I want you to understand that people are not buying the supplement. They're buying the result of that supplement. In this case, reverse aging, having a good night's sleep, and avoiding stress. Ang point ko dito is this. Do not sell the supplement or the process or the product. Sell the outcome. If you're selling the outcome, what this means is you want to package it para to help them achieve the outcome. Kasi ganito, supplement alone is not enough. They have to understand how to have a good night's sleep. Yung mga tactics to have a good night's sleep. To avoid aging. Kasi even if you take supplements every single day, pero kulang naman tulog mo, unhealthy naman pagkain mo, hindi ka makapag-reverse ng aging. Ngayon, yun yung example ko for products. Let's go naman for services, okay? Let's say you have a gym, okay? And typically, people just sell the gym. But I want you to understand, why do people go to the gym ba? Of course, they have an outcome na they want. It's either gusto nila pumayat, magka-muscles, gumanda yung katawan nila. That is the outcome. Pero would you agree, gym alone is not enough for them to get the outcome? Yes or no? They have to know what to eat, right? The right meal plan, the accountability, all these things. In short, instead of just selling the gym, you want to stack. When you buy a year worth with us, we will help you with your meals. We will do accountability check-ins, your body fat, all these things. Ito yung nagko-contribute para makuha yung outcome nila, gumana yung katawan nila. So, ito yung sinasabi ko na, do not sell the thing, the process, sell the outcome. And when you start selling the outcome, syempre, when you wanna get the outcome, in this case, gusto ka pumayat, kailangan nag-exercise ka, kumakain ka ng tama, maganda yung tulog mo. So, tulungan mo rin sila na i-monitor yun para makuha yung outcome na yun. And since tinulungan mo sila na i-monitor yun, hindi ka na mag-charge ng the same. You can now 10 times your prices and people still pay. It's because you're the only one in the market that helps them get to that outcome. By the way, kung negosyante ka pero pakiramdam mo ikaw pa rin gumagawa ng lahat at gusto mo magkaroon ng system that works even without you, join me in my upcoming scaling workshop kung saan I will reveal how to build a system that brings in high-paying clients without relying on referrals. At dahil subscriber kita, I'm giving you a free ticket to join this event. To claim it, click the link in the description or go to fibolim.com/scale. Number 3, nagbibigay ka ba ng discount para makabenta? Gawin mo to. Okay, let me give an analogy. Let's say madalawa kong offer dito. Anong pipiliin mo? Offer A, I will run Facebook ads and the price is 50,000. Offer B, same service, I will run Facebook ads pa rin, pero I will guarantee na kikita ka ng at least 1 million per month or you don't pay. Pero ang price ngayon is 100,000. Yes, doble. Anong pipiliin mo? Option A na 50,000 or option B na 100,000? Malamang, the 100,000. Kahit doble yung presyo, of course. So, the third criteria of creating an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no is guarantee. Ngayon, I want you to understand na buyers want to avoid risk. During a sale, during a transaction, there's a seller and a buyer. And typically ba, who takes that risk? Is it the seller or that buyer when a sale happens? Most likely, it's the buyer. Kasi yung buyer hindi sure kung maganda ba yung bibili nila. Kaya these buyers tend to doubt. And one of the ways for them to avoid risk is to find something cheaper. Kasi kung makahanap sila ng mas mura, what's gonna happen is, at least kung magkamali sila, konti lang yung binayaran nila. Kasi pag mahal yung product mo, tapos nagkamali ka, sayang yung binayad ko sa'yo. Does that make sense? Kaya yung first instinct nila is, how can I lower my price? But again, buyers doesn't really want a low price. They want something that has the less risk. Kaya in this case, sa analogy ko kanina, kahit mas mahal yung 100,000, pero you felt na mas mababa yung risk dito because I guaranteed 1,000,000 in sales or you don't pay, that's why you still chose option B. So, how do you create a guarantee ba? So, if you notice, in Facebook ads, for example, no, the fear of the people is,
baka magbabayad ako sa'yo tapos wala akong return.
so what happens, you wanna guarantee something na takot yung clients mo, okay? So, takot ako magbayad kasi baka walang return. Di you guarantee the return. Ngayon, for example, for Domino's, a lot of people are hungry pero they don't want to order kasi takot sila na baka matagal yung delivery. So, what they did is they guaranteed based on that. They guaranteed around people's fear. So that, alam mo na pag o-order ka ng Domino's, within 30 minutes, madi-deliver sa'yo kaagad. Alam mo, sobrang powerful nito na every business that I have, I always add a guarantee and just like that, it takes off easily. Okay? Now, punta muna tayo sa why do people don't want to put guarantee? It's because when you add a guarantee, the risk gets transferred to the seller, and which is the seller is us, businesses. And tayo kasi we don't like risks, di ba? So, ina-avoid natin yung risk. Gusto natin safe bet. Kaya that's the reason why na people are having a hard time selling their product and services because they want the safe bet. So, if you listen to me and then you follow what I say, I guarantee that you're gonna get the results. So, the real root cause here is that you're avoiding the hard stuff. But if you think of it, how money is made is when you give value sa clients mo. You reduce risk. Kumbaga, walang talo for your client. That's how money is made. So the solution here is not avoiding the guarantee. The solution here is how could you add a guarantee and make sure that you can deliver it. That's how you make business. For example, no, just imagine bumibili ka ng appliance, okay? Tapos nagtanong ka, may warranty ba to? Sasabihin ng nagbibenta sa'yo,
Sir, wala pong warranty kasi gusto namin safe kami.
okay, sa tingin mo, bibili ka ba sa appliance? Alam mo ba, na appliances in the past walang warranty. Up until it became a challenge, it became a problem, one company added a warranty and suddenly every single appliance has a warranty na. Na to the point right now, hindi na normal na walang warranty. Appliance nga may warranty, yung business mo pa kaya? Here's the thing, no? Right now, if may warranty yung appliance mo, hindi na siya competitive advantage, normal na siya. So, pag meron kang product or service na binibenta, tapos yung competitors mo walang guarantee, advantage yan sa'yo. Okay, so how do you apply this ba to your business? Okay, let's go with products first. Now, let's have an example, pen shop, no? Merch. So, you're gonna notice sa pen shop, they have what you call a 30-day return policy. Okay, so just imagine you're fitting a shirt, okay? We know na minsan may doubts tayo kung bibilhin ba natin kasi hindi tayo sure eh. Parang minsan, parang it looks good on the mirror pero dun mo lang talaga malalaman once you start wearing it na. Does that make sense? Or pag uwi mo, or minsan may change of mind tayo in terms of the color or the size. So, what Pen Shop did is they added a 30-day return policy. Bilhin mo na. If hindi mo nagustuhan, you can return it and replace it with another item. Pen Shop has removed the risk and made you make a decision fast instead na pinag-isipan mo pa. Kasi I want you to understand na when people are confused, hindi nila alam anong bibilhin, they don't buy. Pag ganon, why don't we just put a guarantee on that na, uy, if you're confused on what to buy, bilhin mo na lahat. Anyways, marireturn mo naman siya within 30 days. Does that make sense? Now, let's go to services naman. If you have a barber, no, sa BenchFix kasi, is they have what you call a 7-day service guarantee. So, minsan, magpapagupit ka, and minsan pag uwi mo, dun mo lang nalalaman na medyo kulang pa, kailangan mong hindi maganda yung gupit or whatever. So what they did is they had a guarantee on this, no? 7-day service guarantee. Ibig sabihin, pag uwi mo, within the next 7 days, if you want na merong aayusin or medyo may kulang, pwede ka bumalik at magpagupit ulit for free. Alam mo, I have already claimed this service. In fact nga, nakapag-claim ako kahit beyond 7 days na. Because guys, I want you to understand na if there is an unsatisfied customer, kahit hindi ka nag-o-offer ng guarantee, okay, here's my question sa'yo. Kahit hindi ka nag-o-offer ng guarantee, merong unsatisfied customer bumalik at nagre-request na uulitin, iaalaw mo ba? Most likely, yes. Tama? So, technically, ginagawa mo pa rin siya sa mga unsatisfied customers. You go above and beyond to make them happy. Why not just make it a guarantee so that it's easier for people to buy and lahat ng objections or concerns nila goes away? Okay, which leads us to number 4. Alam mo bang hindi presyo ang dahilan bakit humihina ang benta mo? Let me give you an analogy. Example, nag-check out ka sa Shopee and gusto mo bumili ng sapatos. No, merong dalawang store ka na nakita na nagbibenta na same klase na sapatos. Kaya lang magkaiba yung presyo. No? Store A, yung price niya ay 6,000 pesos yung sapatos at merong 1,000 reviews. Store B is 5,000 pesos binibenta yung sapatos, same klase, pero walang reviews. Here's my question, saan ka ba bibili? Obviously, you're gonna buy from store A, 6,000 pesos. Kahit mas mahal? Of course. Why? It's because of the reviews. So, the fourth criteria of creating an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no is proof. What does this mean? No? Alam mo, when people are in doubt kasi, they look at other people, they look at anong ginagawa ng other people for confirmation. I'm gonna give you an example. No? Let's say, merong dalawang restaurant. Okay? And gusto mong kumain. Saan kayo kakain ng pamilya mo? Nakita mo, may isang restaurant walang tao. Tapos yung isang restaurant maraming tao. Saan ka ba kakain? Dun sa may tao or sa walang tao? Malamang sa may tao. Kahit hindi mo pa natikman, you created a judgment already na, oh, dahil maraming tao, most likely baka masarap dito. That, ladies and gentlemen, is proof. Now, how do you apply this to your business? Let's go with products first. Okay? Let's say nagbibenta ka online. Most likely, kung nagbibenta ka online, it's you're selling through TikTok, Shopee, Lazada, or Facebook. All those platforms may way to leave a review. So here is what I suggest. Every time a buyer purchases a product from you, you wanna attach some sort of a flyer encouraging them to leave a review. Because I want you to understand that buyers don't leave a review unless you tell them to do it. Guys, I don't want you to just wait for people to leave a review. You want to actively ask them to leave a review. Alam mo, very interesting because in Malaysia, I remember na nanood kami ng movie. And pagkatapos ng movie, may staff sa labas that was telling us na leave us a review in Google sharing your experience. So we did. So just imagine that, no? People after watching a movie, they don't leave a review, okay? But asking them to leave a review, most likely, gagawin nila. So you can do this through a flyer attaching sa product mo. You can text them when they receive their order. You can call them. All these ways. And just imagine if you do all of them. So, most likely ikaw, marami nang bumili sa produkto mo. Probably more than 1,000 na. Pero tingnan mo yung reviews mo. No? Less than 100 pa rin. Just imagine yung buong 1,000 na bumili sa'yo, nag-leave ng review. Just imagine how powerful, impactful that would be. Make sense? Ngayon, let's go naman for services. Malamang kung nag-offer ka ng service, most likely you close this person one-on-one through a call or in person. Tama? Now, here's what I suggest. You ask for a testimonial before you deliver the service. Okay, sasabihin mo, for example, let's say may physical therapy clinic. Siyempre, o-offeran mo yan. Sasabihin mo, ma'am, okay lang po ba na document natin yung results mo? Tapos, pag gumaling ka, kumanda yung results mo, willing ka bang mag-share ng testimonial para mas marami pa tayong matutulungan? Okay lang ba sa'yo? Most likely, they're gonna say yes. Because it is in your interest to deliver results Kasi hihingi ka ng testimonial. So, remember, if you notice, humihingi na ako ng testimonial bago pa sila nakaresulta. So, selling pa lang. Para by the time na nagka-result sila, it's easy for me to ask the testimonial. Okay, again, if you notice the patterns, I did not wait for them to leave a review. I proactively asked. I asked for a testimonial, I asked for a review. Now, for services, balik tayo dito, once you collect that video testimonial, you want to run them as ads or you want to post them to your page. This is social proof. Because when other people see na, uy, maraming nagkakaresulta, most likely they will tell themselves, okay, siguro tong negosyong to. And now, let's go to number 5. Lagi ka bang sinasabihan ng client mo,
Pag-isipan ko muna.
ito yung dahilan. Let me give you an analogy. Now, imagine bumalik ka sa college and the teacher said sa'yo na,
Okay, class. Here is your assignment and you can pass anytime.
okay, binigyan ka ng assignment and sinabi, walang deadline. You can pass anytime. Kailan ka ba magsasubmit? Most likely, never. Tama? Okay, balik ta rin natin. Pag sinabi ng teacher mo, deadline next month, kailan ka ba magsasubmit? Most likely next month. Pag sinabi, deadline this week, kailan ka ba magsasubmit? This week. Pag sinabi ng teacher, deadline tomorrow, kailan ka ba magsasubmit? Tomorrow. If you notice, our actions adjust based on the deadline. Kung walang deadline, hindi tayo nagtitake action. The 5th criteria of creating an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no is urgency. I want you to understand that people don't buy when there is no deadline. What this means is, people always ask, why now? Me, you, tayong lahat, we want to delay things, no? Mamaya na lang, mamaya na lang. In short, if you are offering something and there is no reason why right now, they're not gonna buy. And that's the reason why sinasabi nila, sige, pag-isipan ko muna kasi wala namang urgency. Now, a real example who does this is airlines company. Diba? So you're gonna see, when you check out in their websites, makikita mo may timer. Your order's reserved, you have 30 minutes to check out before we give the seat to another person. Another is how many slots left, ilang seats na lang natitira for this specific airline. You're also gonna see na tumataas yung prices nila over time. And that's the reason why, pag meron kang gustong puntahan na country, meron kang gustong puntahan na province, nagbubook ka ng early flight, it is because alam mo na pagpalapit na yung date, tataas yung price. Pagpalapit yung date, possible na mauubos yung seats ng flight. And the reason why this happens is to train the people to buy early. Kasi pag hindi ganun, kung same-same lang yung price 3 months ago, this month, tsaka bukas, malamang people will just buy tomorrow. People will just buy today. Diba? So, how do you apply this to your business? Let's start muna with products. No? If you own a physical store, nagbibenta ka ng bags, for example, you don't want to put all your stocks in your store. Now, I want you to understand na you don't have to put fake urgency and scarcity. In fact, I am against that, no? So, what you do is you create a way so that legit yung urgency and scarcity mo. For example, let's say nagbibenta ka ng bags at alam mo naman meron kang thousands of bags. So, what you do is this. Let's say may warehouse ka. Okay? So, ilagay mo lahat sa warehouse, maglagay ka lang ng 5 stocks dito sa branch mo, and sabihin mo, ma'am, we only have 5 stocks left in this branch. Are you telling the truth? Yes. Pero, if you notice, I created scarcity and urgency sa bagay na hindi naman talaga scarce. But at the same time, made it ethical by telling the truth. I only have 5 stocks left here. Pag sasabihin niya, okay, I wanna order more. Sige ma'am, no problem, pero you cannot get it today kasi kukunin pa namin sa warehouse. So in short, you still told the truth by telling them you only have 5 stocks left in this store. And alam mo, people don't wanna buy, marami pang supply. And this is the reason why, if you notice sa mga shoe store, bag store, yung nilalagay nila na item is tagi-isa lang. And minsan sinasabi pa nga, last stock na to. Yun, di ko alam kung totoo ba yun. Pero ang point ko lang is, even if you don't open your mouth, by the fact lang na konti lang na stocks yung nakikita mo, people already assume na this is scarce. And people only like to buy when things are scarce. Kung there's things that are abundant, they will delay purchase. Okay? That's why we need to add urgency and scarcity to add some sort of a deadline. Now, let's go with services naman. Let's say you own a beauty clinic. So let's say in the beauty clinic, I'm sure that you cannot accommodate 1,000 people in a day. So in short, the business itself also has scarcity. If your business has scarcity, which is all of us, all our business has scarcity, you cannot accommodate 1,000 people just like that in a day right now. You communicate that scarcity to people. So let's say for example, na bukas ng afternoon, you can only accommodate 10 people and 6 na yung nakabook. So pwede mong sabihin, ma'am, tomorrow afternoon, we only have 4 spots left. An available spot is 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Which one do you prefer? So if you notice, our business has already scarcity in it. We just have to communicate that scarcity to our clients so that they would take action right now. Okay, ngayon, let us recap. We have discussed the offer star, and an offer star is a framework that I created to create an offer so good na people feel stupid saying no. So in this case, it has 5 components. You're gonna realize that on the left side is risk, on the right side is reward. So I want you to understand now when creating an offer so good, it's basically just risk and reward. We want the lowest risk with the highest reward, and this is how the framework was created. Let's start muna with the reward on the right side. Una is promise. The bigger the promise, the better the promise, the faster the promise, the more irresistible the offer becomes. Second is value. In this case, perceived value. How can you reframe the offer so that it looks like a good deal, even though it's just the same thing, but you can reframe it para mukhang good deal siya. That is on the right side, how we can increase the reward or what they're getting. On the left side naman is risk. Let's start muna with proof. So when people buy something, especially kung first time pa nila bibili, when they are in doubt, they look at other people. So they look at reviews, they look at kung maraming tao ba, marami bang bumibili. That is proof. Fourth thing naman is guarantee. So if you can offer some sort of a guarantee to remove the risk totally, that is one of the ways to create an offer so good. And lastly is urgency. So urgency answers the question, why buy now? Alam mo, when you just implement one of this, it's gonna change your business. But how much more if you implement every single one?